Welcome, everyone, to Analysis of the Old Testament Survey. Pastor Gavin is the host of this series, and I am just an analyst. We are just discussed. This is following the book of Ruth. So that's what we're going to discuss in this episode. Marcus Fredrickson does the music. Make sure you check him out and share out his song, reverbnation.com/Marcus Fredrickson. And the song Free is the music that we use for both Pastor Gavin series and the post show. So make sure you check that out. Pastor Gavin, the book of Ruth, Naomi and her two daughter-in-laws are widowed, meaning her two sons died and her husband.
Right. Yeah.
And that happened. Where were they at the time that happened?
They were in Moab, east of Israel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was one of the neighboring nations of Israel. Yeah.
And then Naomi wanted to go, or not Naomi, I'm sorry. Ruth wanted to go back home to Bethlehem.
Yeah, well, when Naomi wanted to go back home to Bethlehem, so Ruth and Orpah, the two daughter-in-laws, were given a choice. Naomi thought, hey, you two girls would certainly want to stay in Moab. You have no obligation to me to come with me. I wouldn't even expect it. But Ruth, she said, no, I want to go home with you to Bethlehem. Your people shall be my people, your God, my God. So she chose God and over the gods of the Moabites and that whole thing. So Ruth wanted to, she put her faith in the true and living God, the God of Israel. So she said, yeah, I want to go back and be with you, Naomi, and your people will be my people. Your God will be my God.
Okay.
Yeah. So Naomi wanted to go back.
I had them backwards there. Yeah, I had them backwards there. Naomi wanted to go back.
I know the name of the book is Ruth, so you're thinking.
So really, we're following her daughter-in-law. That's really what it's about. Yeah. It's about her journey.
Yeah.
Naomi.
Yep. So her daughter-in-law wanted to follow her mother-in-law back home. Yeah.
Yeah. And she accepted God and gave up the false gods of the Moabites and so forth.
Right. Yeah.
Now, okay, so it's Naomi. Now, when Naomi gets back and Ruth, she offers to marry Boaz in order to buy her land back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
another part of it was if a woman in Israel was married and her husband died and didn't have any children, it was customary that a close relative, preferably even the brother, would marry the widow, and the first child born, the first son born, would be declared to be the son of the one who died. It was it's called levirate marriage, and it's just the way they did things back then.
Yeah, well, some of that, I mean, even marrying a brother or a sister, as if you could find some of that in our own American history. I mean, long ago, usually more towards when we were the colonies and stuff before we actually became the United States. But that was a kind of a custom even up till, when we founded the country.
Yeah. So this would be like, marrying your brother's widow.
Yeah. Which happened a lot during, especially after the Civil War and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes people would do that.
Yeah, the Revolutionary and Civil War, that did happen even in this own country. So, and it's not, I mean, that's, it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Now, Ruth, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ruth basically tells Naomi to get busy with Boaz. She sends him to his feet. I understand.
Yeah, she's coaching him. Yeah, she's coaching him.
Yeah. But that's basically what she was telling her to do, really. Like, hey, go marry this guy and we'll get our land. You can get your land back. So even her own daughter-in-law was supporting her and
right. And it wasn't just about getting the land back either. It was more than that. It was like, this would be good for Ruth to have a husband. Like, her husband died.
Yeah.
And so this would be good for her future. And so it was important to get the land back for Naomi's family, but
it was for Ruth also.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
Okay.
this would ensure a future and security for Ruth. So it was
Okay.
a loving thing,
Yeah.
not sheer manipulation just for the land.
No. Yes, it was. Yes, I
Yeah,
don't. I didn't. I don't want to. Yes, don't confuse any of our viewers. It wasn't just manipulation for the land or
yeah,
whatever. This
yeah.
was
I
for the
mean, you weren't
family.
saying that, but I'm just in case anyone
Yeah.
gets that idea.
Yeah, or just in case anybody did think I was trying to say that. Now
Yeah,
you were talking about the kinsman. That's with Boaz maybe not having the right to marry
yeah.
Naomi, right? They would
He
have
was a relative, but he wasn't the closest relative.
now. When you say relative, a relative of her husband,
Yeah, right.
not
Yeah,
her own.
right.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
so
to make sure that was clear.
this is a kinsman or relative of Elimelech, Naomi's husband, who
Yeah.
had died. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it
Yeah.
doesn't say
So
exactly what relation he was. I mean,
yeah.
a
Now with
cousin or I don't
so
know.
so so
It just
Boaz
says
was
kinsman.
so Boaz was relation to Naomi's husband,
Right. Yeah, her late
but it
husband.
had to go through another one that was closer.
Yeah, yeah. He had the first right. This other guy who was a closer relative had the first right.
Okay.
But he said he wasn't able to. So
Yeah. Okay. And then well, that's basically just a couple of the points that I wanted to touch on there.
yeah.
The book of
So
Ruth
now
follows.
let
Go
me
ahead.
just say one more thing.
Yeah.
So so Naomi and Boaz were from Bethlehem,
Oh, yeah.
and so they were the ancestors of King David. So
I want
David,
to, if
what's
I
that?
can, what is you went over it right at the end, but Ruth, who did she end up marrying, or do we not get that information?
Ruth married Boaz.
Oh, Ruth was the
Yeah,
one that married Boaz, not
yeah.
Naomi.
No, no.
Oh, see, there you go. I was confused about that right there. Okay, so Naomi wasn't the one who married Boaz. It was
Right.
Ruth.
Ruth did. Yeah.
Okay, okay, all right. Well,
Yep.
that makes a little more
So
sense now.
Naomi was just coaching Ruth.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
So I have that
here's
backwards
what you
there.
should do. Now here's the significant part of it. Okay, so King David was from Bethlehem,
Yeah.
right? And so Micah the prophet, about 500 years before Jesus was born, he said, "Thou Bethlehem of Ephrathah, though thou be little among the princes of Judah, out of thee shall come forth who shall be governor, who shall rule my people Israel." So, in other words, Micah the prophet was saying that Jesus would be born in Bethlehem. So, when Jesus was born, remember the angel said to the shepherds, "Unto you is born this day in the city of David
Yeah.
a Savior, which is Christ the Lord." So the shepherds said, "Hey, let's go to Bethlehem and see this glorious thing." And remember the wise men, they came to Herod. They said, "Where is he who is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him." So Herod said to the scribes, "Where do the scriptures say that the Messiah would be born, the King of the Jews?" And they looked at Micah 5, verse 2, oh, in Bethlehem of Ephrathah. And there are two different Bethlehems in Jesus' day when he was born.
Okay.
One in Judah, where David was from, but there was one in, the northern area of, northwest of the Sea of Galilee. But Micah specifically said Bethlehem of Judea. So it's that's part of the significance too.
Yeah, that he
You know,
specified which, because
yeah,
even in America right now, there's towns that have the same name. I mean, you can even find
right.
4 or 5 cities in the country that maybe have the same name.
Yep,
So it's
and
not
that's
uncommon.
yeah, and that's one thing that identified
Which one?
Jesus as the Messiah. That he was a descendant of King David, and he was born in Bethlehem. So
Yeah, that's all right. So now take us through. Can you take us through the line again from Ruth and Boaz to King David?
uh, Yeah. So here it says, well, this is at the end of.
Yeah, the end of Ruth. I know you
Yeah.
just said at the end of the episode. I just thought it might be worth going over one last time before we close out of our after show to follow the line.
Right. It says, okay. Okay. So this is from the tribe of Judah. Okay. So Judah, he had a son named Pharez, begat Hezron. Hezron begat Ram. Ram begat Aminadab. Aminadab begat Nahshon. Nahshon begat Salmon. Salmon begat Boaz. Boaz begat Obed. Obed begat Jesse. And Jesse begat David.
So
So,
King David,
yeah,
if I
King
counted that right.
David. So you have Boaz, then you have Obed, their son, and then you have Jesse, then you have David.
So 4 generations later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about all I had for the book of Ruth. Please leave a comment if you would like us to talk. We get a couple of comments. We'll do a comment show, or whatever. People have questions. We'll be doing this every Wednesday on the Boiling Point podcast channel, and every Sunday nights they'll be available on Pastor Gavin's YouTube channel. Make sure you check him out. YouTube.com/@Gavin Whitcomb SR.9168. I had it up on the screen a couple of times, but check him out. And of course, the Boiling Point podcast, we're on Rumble, YouTube, and then you can follow us on Facebook as well. This is our series surveying the Old Testament, or the Old Testament survey. I'm sorry. And this is our analysis of the survey. And for Pastor Gavin, who is the host of the series, I am JD, and that's the end.
What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, my soul? What wondrous love is this, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this? Here comes the Lord of bliss.